That report by Hoda Abdelhamid of Al Jazeera English. So, for more on today's attacks and the challenges in stopping them, we're joined once again by Rajan Menon, Professor of International Relations at Lehigh University. Welcome back.
Thank you, Martin.
Today's attacks seem to have been specifically targeting Indians in Kabul. They're there to work. They're also there to help out. Why would the Taliban target Indians?
The Taliban has realized that India is involved, as you said, in Afghanistan in a number of ways. India has little use for the Taliban. In fact, we had very close relationships with a group called the Northern Alliance that the United States used to defeat the Taliban after the 9/11 attacks.
And so Pakistan, of course, also worries a great deal about India. And they have indicated that the Indians are there in Afghanistan as a means of sort of getting at Pakistan's flank. Is that true?
Yes. It's important to understand that for about 40 years before the Taliban came to power in 1994, with substantial Pakistani assistance, I might add, there were a succession of pro-Indian governments in Afghanistan. Pakistan felt outflanked. It felt that it had an Indian-aligned state on its western border. That changed with the coming to power of the Taliban. With the collapse of the Taliban, you have now the Karzai government with which India has very strong relations. So there is, it's important to understand, a very strong battle going on for the future of Afghanistan, not only between the United States and the Taliban, but also between India and Pakistan.
And of course, nothing happens in a vacuum. So you had a meeting also this week, I think the first time between India and Pakistan since the Mumbai massacre, right, which of course derailed the peace talks that have been going on between those two countries. I'm wondering if India and Pakistan improved relations, how does that impact the Taliban in Afghanistan?
I think it makes life for the Taliban much more difficult because the deployment of Pakistani forces now is primarily toward the east, that is facing India. The Pakistanis still believe that India is the long-term strategic threat. Were that to change and more forces could be deployed toward the west, I think it would be much harder for the Taliban, providing the Pakistanis took the unequivocal step of deciding that they were going to cut all ties with the Taliban, which they have not yet.
Is it possible then that today's attack was in part designed to create a little more tension between Pakistan and India?
That was certainly one objective.
And then the other objective, I think, would be that we've had this military operation in Marjan in the south. It appears to have been at least militarily successful. Would it be that the Taliban are trying to say, look, that doesn't mean that we've been defeated?
Absolutely. They cannot stand and fight in Marja without taking heavy losses. They've left some residual troops to fight. They've booby-trapped the area, but they've moved their main fighters out. But they want to send the message, we are still a factor, as witnessed the Karzai government cannot even protect people in its capital city.
Rajan Menon, thank you again.
Thank you, Martin.